Hi everyone. So here are your instructions for creating a basic Weebly class website. So just follow along with me as I go through the different steps. There are many different features of Weebly, but we're just going to go over the most basic today so that you're not overwhelmed. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing you want to do whenever you're on your Weebly site under your account is to add a site. And we'll just click on the focus of our site to be just a regular website. And then it allows you to choose a theme. So choose whatever you like. I personally like to use the clean and minimal option. And I like the orange option, so I'm going to choose that. And then it's going to ask you to choose the URL you'd like to use for your website. So I'm going to go with something easy. My last name, I teach English, and we're in Boone County. Okay, so Perry English Boone. And then I'm going to continue. So here is the basics of my site. Now, I personally think the easiest way to build your site is to start with the pages. So I'm going to click up here. And you just saw your home page. I usually like to use this header type, and I like consistency, so I'm going to use the short header throughout, but you can feel free to use whatever you'd like. So you have a home page. I'm going to change the next page to the class calendar page. And then I'll make the next page important handouts. Again, just follow along with what I'm doing. I'm going to add another just standard page. I'm going over the basics today. And I'm going to make a contact information. I'm going to, again, change it to short header so it's consistent. And then I usually like to add a page that offers extra help to students. I'm going to keep it a short header. And then I'm going to save and edit. All right, now we're at the home page of our site. So let's change the title here to, I'm going to change mine to Mrs. Perry's website. And then down here, this is where we get to play around a little bit. So you'll see on the left-hand side, there are many different things you can add to your page. So again, we're going over just some of the basics today. So I'll want to put a title. And because this is our home page, my title is just going to say welcome. And then I'm going to want to describe how students should use this website, so I'm going to add text. So I'll just drag that over. And I'm going to say, please use this site to view the class calendar, print important handouts, etc. So we'll just leave it that way for now. All right, so now you have a basic home page. I'm going to move over to a class calendar. So I'm going to follow the same steps we just did. Make a title, class calendar, use some text. And the way I usually include my class calendars on this site is by linking files. So I'm going to say English 10 calendar. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to link it to a file. So I'll upload a file. And let's see, I'll just use one I've used in the past. So English from August. And now you have a calendar for students to review whenever they're not sure if they missed a due date or when something is, when a test is coming up. All right, so the next page we have is for important handouts. Again, same thing we did before. Title it, add some text, and here is where you can just list some of the different documents that are, like I said, important for students to have. So for instance, if they're at home and they forget their homework, they can just print it out and they won't have any issues. So I would do the same thing we just did. Let's say we want them to make sure they have the study guide for Great Gatsby. Do the same thing as you did before. Upload that study guide from your files. And I'll just pick an example file. And now you have your first link for an important handout. Next up, I think it's important to use contact information or to add a page for that, because parents will want to know what your email is, what the phone number is if they need to contact you. So I have a title, and then I'm going to add the text. So we have, I'll usually put my name, my email, and you can also link this, like we just did, to my email address. And then you also typically want to put the phone number for the school. So I'll add that as well. And then one more thing that I'd like to show you today, since it's pretty easy to also add, is images. So maybe the students' parents that you have never seen what you look like. You can add a picture of yourself. So I'll pick a quick picture. And now my students' parents will know what I look like whenever they visit the contact information page. All right, last, I like to use an extra help page just in case students want to go to some grammar sites for some extra work. So we'll title it again, add some text, and I'll use a grammar help website, for example. And that's chompchomp.com. I'll just write the title and then I'll link it to chompchomp.com. And I typically like to open it in a new window so that you don't get kicked off your website. All right, so that is a basic class website, and you can add to it, mess around with it a little bit, and make it your own. So the last thing you need to do so that other teachers and students and parents can view your site is to publish it. So I'm going to click the Publish button, and we're going to press Continue. And now it's published, so you can go look at it from the viewpoint of your students. And this is what it'll look like for someone visiting your site. We have the links there, your contact information. If it decides to come up, my computer's going slowly. The extra help, important handouts. And this is what it'll look like for anyone who's visiting. So my computer's going slowly right now and it's kind of freezing, but overall I hope you understand the basics of creating the Weebly website. Thanks.